What's up, guys? This is Daniel, and it looks like it's snowing again. So I thought we were actually past this cabin fever weather, and it was a beautiful weekend. I had a great time in Baltimore. But now we've got the snow, and so now we got to address this and how we can stop this from getting in the way of you and your exercise and your training and your fitness in 2014. Cold can be a really limiting factor when it comes to exercise. There are a lot of negative side effects to exercising out in the cold weather. First off, a lot of people don't want to exercise at all. They get rather lethargic, want to stay inside and cuddle up. So it just prevents you from even going out and being active, which is really probably starting to get to you. We've had snow every week for the last 8 weeks now, and it's starting to get kind of old. So what can you do to make a difference? Remember, it's really about living an active daily lifestyle, so taking the time to actually go out and shovel your own yard and your own driveway will actually be a good form of exercise. So when you're outside, remember, try to stay outside for only 20 to 30 minutes at max. Now really it's important to dress comfortably in layers. Not dressing too much and overdressing. If you overdress, then you'll cause sweating, and sweating is good in the summer because the sweat actually evaporates and causes a cooling factor. So if you're sweating in already freezing cold and wintry and windy conditions, you're actually going to cool off and actually start to even risk freezing skin tissues. Me personally, I normally wear a long pair of pants, a pair of shorts underneath, and normally a t-shirt, a thin layer, long sleeve shirt, and a hoodie on top if needed. Normally the hoodie's off once you get warmed up, because your own thermogenesis is actually going to help keep the body warm when you're active and moving. So a proper warm up, maybe warming up indoors before heading out into the cold, would be a great idea. Also, do not stretch outside. Stretching is you're stretching cold muscles before even being warmed up. You're prone to injury, let alone stretching in very cold, inclement weather. So be very mindful of that. Also, when you get back inside, do not hop into a hot shower. The trauma from changing from one extreme to another in temperatures can be detrimental to the layers of skin and could actually cause the hypothermia to set in. Be mindful of how cold it is when you get started, and also the wind chill factor. Now that's really how hard and how fast the wind is blowing. As the winds blow faster, it can actually increase your risk to frostbite. So guys, definitely when dressing in layers, do not dress the hands and feet in extra layers of clothing. This will actually cause the feet and hands to sweat, and with there being little muscle tissue and extra body fat, and your extremities being much smaller and having less circulation, they're actually very hard to maintain that and regulate that body temperature. So make sure to keep the hands and feet protected, but once again, don't overdress. So, and another thing to be very mindful of is when you're out in the cold is to avoid getting wet. Actually, make sure to avoid puddles, sloshing around in the snow. Your feet get wet. The convection from the water will actually create great loss of heat, and once you lose that heat, it just is a downward spiral from there. Alright guys, so it's getting cold out, so we're about to wrap up with a couple last key points. So when you're breathing, making sure to breathe in through the nose. Now see, because the oxygen in the air you breathe in is actually humidified and is warmed up as it spirals through the nostrils and down into the trachea. Breathing in through the mouth can actually cause irritation to the trachea and to the windpipe. So it's a little secret that I share with everybody when they say that they have problems when they're outdoors. Another thing to do is also to make sure to have a cap on. Wearing a hat or a hoodie and a beanie will actually keep heat loss and prevent that from escaping from the head and from the upper body. So keeping your ears warm, your hands warm, your toes warm, and your head warm will help the extremities stay warm, and which will help the rest of the body stay warm as you stay active and moving. Daniel Byer with Trinity Strength and Conditioning at www.trinitygroundgame.com. Like us on Facebook.